What's the difference between me cracking this mic on right now and going on a big fucking prejudice tirade, well, I'm not gonna say I'm racist because I'm black, so I don't have any real power in this damn country, so I can't really be racist. I could be prejudiced as hell. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a very long time since I've uploaded content to this channel, but I'm here today to let y'all know I'm right back at it. I'm back at it. I'm in it for the long term. Here we go. If you're watching this channel right now, you probably feel just like me, just another number. Today on the show, I really want to talk about Black MAGA. It's tough. It's rough. I don't have many positive things to say about Black MAGA, and I'm just keeping it honest. I'm just being brutally honest here. The reason why I don't have any respect for them, because as a black person, you have to ask yourself, and it's not to knock black conservatives, okay? I get it. Even though I'm not a conservative, I can understand that people have different views. That's fine. I'm all for that. But at the same time, I've always questioned it and wondered, how could I see myself voting for the same people or the same person that a white supremacist may vote for? Like, how can I be aligned with them? How can I be in the same party? How can I be in the same faction? How can I represent the same team as people who don't like people who look like me, who have my skin complexion and darker? I can't see myself. I can't rationalize it in my own mind. I can't rationalize voting with those people. I just can't do it. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't square that. So I'm gonna play a video. I'm gonna play a video about a man talking about some comments that he didn't like about something Don Lemon said. So I'm gonna get into this clip.
This message is mostly directed at Don Lemon and those that are against the funeral procession of Charlie Kirk. Don Lemon said, why does he get a funeral by the state? Well, Don Lemon, we give two shits about what you think. We really do. As a matter of fact, we could spend $1 billion on Charlie Kirk's funeral. I wouldn't give two shits, and most of us would not.
That right there is a pure-blooded lie. Most people wouldn't. Like, come on, with the delusion. Are you serious? Most people wouldn't. I'm gonna let it keep going.
And that know who Charlie Kirk really is.
Sorry, maybe I jumped a little too far ahead. Most people that know who Charlie Kirk wouldn't. But okay.
Don Lemon, did you have this conversation with your people when you guys were tearing out the country concerning George Floyd? Were you talking about all the money that it cost us to rebuild these cities? George Floyd was a nobody. George Floyd had no honor. See, Charlie Kirk is getting buried in the way he is because he is a man of honor. You choose not to believe that, that's on you. But George Floyd, for sure, was a nobody who you guys gave great honor to while the people that was worshiping him were tearing up the city and states in his name. And somebody was making billions of dollars off that chaos. So don't come talking to us, we conservatives, and the President of the United States, how we bury one of our fallen soldiers, even though he was not in the military. He was a soldier for this country. And you may believe it or not, he was a soldier for your children as well, Don Lemon. So don't talk to us about how we bury our dead, our warriors, our heroes, and you're not anybody to tell us who our heroes are. Because obviously, yours are all the ones that tore up every fucking thing in this country. There's a reason why you don't work at CNN. You were so stupid at CNN, they couldn't stand you. Now it's our turn. We can't stand you.
The man Don Lemon worked at CNN for, I don't know, over a decade. All right, all jokes aside, now I'm gonna get serious. I don't got no respect for guys like him. And I'm not just saying this in the comfort of my own home. I tell him to his face, okay? I'm not confrontational. But at the end of the day, those are your points of view, okay? I don't agree. And I don't respect your point of view. Because again, you are aligning yourself with people who don't like you. And no matter how hard you try, as dark as he is, he's darker than I am, for Christ's sake. And I'm not playing the colorism card, okay? Because I love my people. Light, brown, or dark, doesn't make no difference. But the people he's aligning himself with don't give two shits about him. This is a fact, okay? This ain't hearsay. There are certain places in this country that he can't be at after dark. No matter if he aligns with the MAGA movement or not, they don't care. Because guess what? They see you as someone who does not belong, even if you have the same ideology. They don't care. They don't care. Why would they? Because it's deeper than that. It's deeper than ideology. We keep trying to explain that to y'all, but y'all don't seem to get it. You don't seem to get it through your head. I hear so many Black MAGA people talk about get off the Democratic plantation. The irony. You are aligned with the people. They are the descendants of people who own slaves. And I'm not going to sit up here and say slavery did not take place in the North, because of course it did. And to the people who are foolish enough to use their same stupid talking point, saying, well, it was the Democratic Party at the time and it was. It was. But the people, all they did was switch clothes. They swapped out a blue shirt for a red one. Now, ironically, I'm wearing a red shirt, but I don't represent them assholes. All they did is change clothes, change parties, change names. That's all. But the mentality's still the same. Ask them if they were fans of Jim Crow, if they were fans of the Jim Crow era. You know, because that's a slippery slope when they keep talking about traditionalism. I hear a lot of that on the right. You know, they're traditionalists. Well, what does that even mean? Because traditionally, if you want to go back to the founding of this country, in the beginning, people who look like me weren't allowed to have rights. Weren't allowed to do anything in this country. Hell, they didn't want us to exist. They looked at us as property. Oh, you're holding on to the past. No, I'm not holding on to the past. It's the South that holds on to the past. Having celebrations or whatever. What is it that they commemorate? Commemorations about their loss in the Civil War. The North don't do such things like that. They're the only ones that still talk about the Civil War. Hell, after this whole Charlie Kirk situation, what were they talking about? Well, it's back to war. It's war now. It's war. Because they've always wanted this. They've always wanted a civil war. Because they're still upset that they lost the first one. And they don't understand that it's your mentality. All men are created equal. That's what it's supposed to be in this country. All men are created equal, except they don't see that. They don't like that. They don't stand with that. Hence why they had their own flag. They don't rock with it. And so I see these black conservatives, these black MAGAs. I just want to ask them, like, how you feel about the Confederate flag? How do you feel about when they say the phrase, the South shall rise again? What do they mean by that? What do they mean by the South shall rise again? Because remember, they were Southern Democrats, right? Right? Why aren't they Democrats today? Does anyone ever ask that question? Why aren't those Southern Democrats still Democrats today? Well, I mean, I know why. But do they know why? And a part of me think they do, because they're intentionally being, they like to do a lot of gaslighting. So they're doing this intentionally just to make it seem like, oh, well, they throw out these tropes to try to confuse people because, they may be ignorant to certain subjects and ignorant to certain things. But again, going back to you Black MAGAs, because I'm sure there's some truck drivers out here that are Black MAGA. And so you may think if you put on that red cap, that stupid fucking red cap y'all wear, you may think that, hey, this is just me. I'm showing you that I'm one of you. They don't care. They don't care about your clothing. They don't care about the content of your character. Wasn't that what MLK was talking about being judged? Not by the color of your skin, but the content of your character? You're being judged the second you walk in the door of anywhere, whether you're wearing a MAGA cap or not. The first thing they see is your skin. And one of the first places I bet their minds go to is trying to decipher or determine whether you belong or not. I don't understand. I don't understand why we can't have a grown-up conversation about this. I don't understand why people choose to be naive, choose to live in their own states of delusion, and they'll accuse people like me of doing the same exact thing, except I'm looking at all facts. So you guys on the right, you guys on the far right, you guys don't like facts. Facts aren't your friend. Facts are not your friend. You don't like facts. You don't like to discuss facts. You like to cherry pick and you like to make shit up. It's not real. You just pull shit out of your ass. You're not going to like my video. You're not going to like my viewpoints. You're not going to like what I stand for. And that's fine. That's the beauty of America, because what America is supposed to represent, at least in theory, is freedom. The freedom to talk. The freedom to have an exchange of ideas. And you guys will say, well, that's what Charlie Kirk was trying to do. You can't explain away one's racism and say it's just opinion. That's just his opinion. So it gives you the green light to go around here and be as racist as humanly possible and use the guise and to cover it up and say it's just my opinion. That's what's the difference between me cracking this mic on right now and going on a big fucking prejudice tirade? Prejudice / well, I'm not gonna say I'm racist because I'm black, so I don't have any real power in this damn country. So I can't really be racist. I could be prejudiced as hell. Most people are prejudiced, but they never admit it. That's like me going on a prejudice tirade right now, talking hella shit against white people. Are you gonna respect those opinions? Which, if I'm talking about white people, it's coming out of a place of history. It's coming from a place of history. Because I'm going to bring up historical, what's that word they don't like? What's that word they don't like? Facts. Historical facts. Historically accurate facts. You don't like facts. And there's a few choice words I would like to use for these Black MAGAs, but I'm not going to use them because, I don't want to be accused of anything, and then I also don't want YouTube to shut the video down. So I'll just be kind about it. I know some Black MAGAs in real life and have no dealings with them. You're entitled to your opinions, of course. You feel the way you want to feel. I try not to be as tribal as humanly possible, but at a certain point, I can't have civilized conversations with people who I firmly, strongly, at my core, disagree with. And I've tried. I actually like talking to people who I don't agree with, because I don't like living in a bubble. I like actually gathering outside perspectives on subjects, because it helps me grow. It helps me learn. I don't like to be shut in and boxed into a corner. You know, if I'm presented with new information, I take that information and I'm analyzing it. I'm doing research. I'm trying to understand, is it something that I can add? Is it useful information? Is it factual, first and foremost? Is it factual? But a lot of people don't do that in this country. You see, you ask a Trump supporter, especially, I'm talking about the Black MAGAs here. I don't give a fuck about the white ones. I don't give a fuck about anybody else, but the Black Trump supporters in general. You ask them, like, why are you voting for him? And they'll give you all these cockamamie crazy answers. They'll give you all this shit. He's gonna be tough on crime and all of that. And really? Now, I'm not gonna sit here and dilute the shit and act like there isn't a bunch of crime in the inner cities. Of course it is. Of course it's going to be crime when you congest a bunch of people into a single area, have people literally living on top of each other, and you think it's not going to be something? Come on now. And I'm not using that as an excuse. It's just a fact. You put a bunch of people concentrated in a certain area, what do you think is going to happen? Everybody's not born with the same personality. Everybody's not born with the same, they're just not born the same. We're just all different. And that's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. I embrace it. Now you say I'm being a hypocrite because it's like, well, you're not embracing people having difference of opinion. No, I enjoy people having a difference of opinion. I love that. Quite frankly, it's kind of boring talking to people who have the same perspective as you. But what I'm trying to get at, what I'm really trying to break down is, why? Why are you Black MAGAs the way you are? They're never going to accept you. They're never going to truly accept you. Never. Never. Because at their core, they don't like people who are different from them. That's the main reason why they're trying to deport all of the Mexicans, or Hispanics rather. Not even just Mexicans. They're going after anybody who looks Hispanic. They're going after anybody who looks brown. Just like after 9/11, everybody went after Arabics, suspecting that it was every single Arabic. Which is wrong. Which is BS. It's bullshit. It's the equivalent of if I decided to go after every single white person because of all the shit, all the events that happened in history, and say it's all you motherfuckers' fault. Now, how would you feel about that? That's how Black people feel anytime one of us go out there and commit a crime. It's like you ain't looking at it as just an individual. You got to take it out on the entire group. It's all Black people. See, the usual suspects, or it's always them. Well, it's them again. All that stupid ass rhetoric. Instead of looking at it like this is just one individual who did a stupid thing, you cast that net over the entire race. But yet when one of y'all go out here and commit a crime, and boy, school shootings have been y'all pride and joy. Y'all own that lane. But anytime it's a white person to do something, now all of a sudden it's a lone wolf, or they had mental health issues, or y'all always do some stupid trickery to try to distance yourself from the shit. But no other race gets that grace. You don't give anybody else, you don't give any other race the benefit of the doubt for that. Because you know what it feels like. It's like, you know the hypocrisy, you know what you're doing is bullshit, you know what you're doing is wrong, but you don't care. You don't care. That's the whole point, right? That's the whole point. So again, to you Black MAGAs, I support your right for freedom of speech. Just like I supported Charlie Kirk's right for freedom of speech. I don't have to like anything you say. Hell, I don't even have to like you. Because I don't like really any of you. And I don't expect you to like me. And that's fine. As long as we can keep it cordial. As long as we can be civilized. We live in a so-called civilization, but we are far from it. We don't look at each other as Americans. We don't see each other as neighbors. And all of you fake Christians, all of you people who say you go to church and you claim to be Christian and you don't follow a single word in the book. Or if you do, you cherry pick things and you pick out the parts you like and throw away the other parts that you don't like, the parts that you don't agree with, the parts that don't fit your narrative. Can't take you serious. That's why I refuse to sit down and be lectured by any of you. I won't let you gaslight me. If I say something that upsets you, then have the same energy as you have when you say something to offend or upset my community. You tell people to get over it. Well, take your own advice. Because quite frankly, I've been pretty tame. I haven't gone off the deep end and said all the things I could possibly say. I've been relatively tame throughout this conversation. But I'm going to end it on this note. Black MAGA, they don't support you. They just use you as see, we can't possibly be racist. See, we have a black person. You're just a tool to them. You're a means to an end. And you're going to always be that way. That's how they see you. Because it's been ingrained in their DNA. Throughout the history. It's how their ancestors were. It's how the society was. Society has changed from 100 years ago, 200 years ago. You people wouldn't have been able to walk around. You would have been in chains like the rest of us. Nothing would have been different. And there were people back then that were like that. But what Harriet Tubman understood and what I understand and what a lot of black people understand now is we can't save everyone. And some of you are just not worth saving. That's been the content for today. If you like what I have to say, if you appreciate my viewpoints, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I will be uploading content more often. I'm going to try to make at least 2 to 3 videos a week going forward. And again, if you support what I'm saying, let me know in the comments. If you disagree with what I'm saying, let me know in the comments. And I'll be as respectful as you are to me. Remember, let's keep it cordial. Remember, we're still Americans at the end of the day, right?